Hey you guys, this is Den here. Some of you guys might know me from Facebook as the Kiss Guy. Some of you may have bought guitars from me. I don't know what kind of crowd this is going to reach. You can catch me on facebook.com/Rhinestone Guitars. I make full-size replicas, and I'm also getting kind of infamous for making Taylor Swift replica rhinestone glittery sparkle guitars. Today I'm going to show you step by step just how I do it. Now this is not the official way, and I'm not in any way, shape, or form associated with Taylor. And any monies that I do make, usually I do a lot of charity events and materials and stuff. I'm not really making a whole lot off of this. It's a craft I enjoy, and I'm here to pass it on to you. If you want a service from me, that's fine, but like I said, it's really not much of a money making venture in any way for me, so don't jump to the wrong conclusion. Let's get started. I'm going to go out of frame. I got to slide back so you can see my hands and guitar. So we're going to do that. And you'll see my sparse amount of hair on my head probably as I slide back here. What I'm using today is a Fender Starcaster. It's a very nice guitar. It's a beginner's guitar. I don't know much about guitars because really I don't play at all, believe it or not. I'm just fascinated by guitars. I don't have any coordination. But I've been told it's a good guitar, like for beginners. It cost me maybe under $100. So if you wanted to take this on for a project for yourself, it's not bad. You can always undo what you've done, pretty much. I don't think you can really damage the guitar. The only thing is that that pick guard is going to come off. So once that's off, it's off. And you can't... Well, you could probably replace that, so it's not that big of a deal. Let's... start by getting that off. And it usually peels right off, and it still actually has the protective film right on the pick guard, but we don't need that. It's going to come right off. Yeah, you make a lot of sounds and hit a lot of chords doing this work, especially when you're working around the strings. Okay. So that's off. We'll get that in the trash there. If you'll notice, the stones I use are these little, the Big Bling by Doris. There are two kinds. This is a half-pound bag, and the colors on these, they're like pink and bluish tinted, which I kind of prefer because it gives it more of a nice, it's more like a feminine look, I guess, but it's just more eye-catching because of the pinks and blues. You can get those, or you can get the 1 pound bag, and the 1 pound bag is all crystal, like silver crystal, clear crystal, and those are £1. So depending on what you get, I think the 1 pound bag, you probably need 1.5 bags. The half pounds, I guess 3 to 4, if I'm doing my math properly. And what I was going to get to, if you'll notice, you have this beige tan background here, and I'm not really sure how Taylor did hers or how other people are doing theirs, but with the stones I use, maybe she used teeny tiny stones that form very, very, very close together, but the stones that I use from Doris, no matter how you set them together, you're always going to have a space, and you don't want that beige, that tan that's going to show up in between your stones, because it's going to be very noticeable as far as I'm concerned. You can see that there's a little space there no matter what you do. What I do is I cover the entire guitar body in these silver reflective mirror sheets. Now you can buy stuff like this at your local auto place, where they sell like Pep Boys or any of those kind of auto supply stores. They come on rolls. I get this at Lakeshore Learning online. I think it's lakeshorelearning.com. Google it, and you can get, it's 20 sheets for like $11 in shipping. So that's like 50 cents a sheet. That's a steal. So I like to use these. I have a cutter. If you don't have a cutter like this, you can use scissors. And the other thing you'll need is a razor blade. Now razor blades, no matter what you think, tend to go dull very quickly. So I would say get a good number of them. if you go to your hardware store, you can get a box of like 100 for a song. I don't know, this is definitely less than $5 if I recall. It's been a while since I've had to buy any because there's a ton still left in there, as you can see. But you definitely need a straight razor so you can cut the excess off when you're putting your silver lining on. Please, if you have pets, if you have little brothers or sisters, you have anybody that could get hurt, whenever you're working with the razor, I'm just saying, make sure you secure it, put it away if you walk away from what you're doing. Make sure it's not out there. We don't want anybody to get hurt. Razors are very, very dangerous, and you know, you really have to be careful. I just want to stress that. I don't want anybody out there getting hurt. I know a lot of my, hopefully people that are watching this are like 15, 16, know what they're doing. You know, you have better sense. Okay, so what I do is I just judge a little bit at a time on where to go with this. And I usually like to start up here, and I'll figure, because this is very flimsy paper, it doesn't really like to mold where you want it to sometimes, and has its own mind. So I'm going to use the cutter to just cut a little portion at a time. You know, you don't want to put too much. And I'll just go here and see how that lays out. That should probably be enough to get just the top here. And you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to do this first part of the guitar. And I have a little excess. That's what's going to come off with the razor. So I'm going to peel this off, and when you'll see after I peel it off that it's very, very flimsy, because this is the one I get from Lakeshore. The stuff at the auto place is going to be a lot easier to work with, but it's going to be thicker. So, you know, if you do more than one, which I doubt a lot of people are, but if you want to try one and go to another, you know, whatever's your preference, you can get each one and you know, see which better works for you. As you can see, it's not working very well for me, but with a little patience, you're just going to bring it right up to the side of the neck there, lay it down, and you're just going to smooth it out. You see, you don't really want bubbles. You want to get it all out as far as you can over the guitar. And you can just pick it up and lay it back down again, stretch it out until it behaves itself. You're going to get all the air bubbles out, as many as you can. If you need, you can take your razor and you just pop little holes, and it'll, you know, eliminate those little air bubbles. Okay, so I'm just trying to, you know, get as much out. It has a little bit of a recess from the pick guard. That's okay, because the rhinestones are going to go right over. You want to make sure your edges are all smooth. Down the edges here. You know, once you remove that edge, you'll be able to seal out all these air bubbles. Then that's when the razor blade comes into play. And you just want to take your razor blade and just carefully just go around. This is very sharp. I just opened this one. So you just want to get the edge and go very carefully. Follow around the body of the guitar. Just take your time. It should flow. You know, if it doesn't, you stop. And you may have some that doesn't exactly, you know, you may have overage. That's okay, we can get that later. But you just want to get as much off and a nice flow as you can. I'm having a little trouble here. There we go. And that's off. So you can see I have a nice seal around the top. Now, I'd like to utilize, because the sheets, they're not expensive, but you don't want to waste anything. So don't worry about being exact. You're just going to take your scrap and just maybe put it, say, you can just see where there's a curve or something that fits. You can even just here. I mean, that will do nicely there. You can see, just for now, and we'll cut that off there. You know, and just use your scraps. And eventually what you want to do is just, you know, cut bit by bit. I'm going to cut a little bit there, start on the other side, and you just want to completely cover the guitar with your silver foil so that you have a silver lining on the guitar. And you can see I did pretty good. There's not much that came over, and actually people aren't really going to notice that. If you really want to nitpick, like I said, you can go back, lift it, and just use your razor to come back and take that off. But I've never had anybody complain about that, and it doesn't bother me. It just depends on what you're looking for. I'm also going to have to get this hole. Sometimes if you just take your nail and go over it first, you know, it makes it a little easier to run that razor blade around it. And you can see I have a little bit of a piece there. And you just go in, and if you can just find, you can see how easy that slices around. I should be able to just slice out that circle a little bit at a time. And it's just going right through, following right through. Okay, almost there. Oh, it came right off. And we just tuck that, because no one's going to see that. And we have our first part of our lining. I'm going to come back after the lining is done and show you where we go from that. But let me show you. Now look, when you have your stones on here, when you start lining them up, right, and you have a lot of stones on there, even though there might be gaps, because there's going to be gaps no matter how geometrically these line up. It's never going to be perfect. You're working with a curved object, and not everything's going to fit perfectly. But when those stones are on there, those pretty stones over the silver, it looks amazing. You can't see a gap there. So guys, I'm going to finish out the rest of the guitar, and then we're going to start putting the rhinestones on, and check back with me. Okay, thanks.